Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be telling you a kind of a scary story, but it's more like it kind of starts scary and then ends up being really funny. So me and my friend were going to the city that's near where we live, and it was probably about 11:30 when we left, and we were just driving around and looking, at different places, and there's this spot in the city, like a point where you can see all the lights and all of the city, and it is so pretty. I love it. So we decided to take a drive up there. But we took a wrong turn, and so when we were going up this hill, it's literally like this, okay? So we're going up this hill, and there's this huge house on top of the hill, and we're like, that is not where we're supposed to be going. So we back up down the hill, and like we hear this like crunching noise under the car, and I'm like, oh crap, we just ran over something. But then like the car was like sitting like this, and it started to tilt. And I'm like, no way, this car is gonna flip. So we freaked out, and I thought that the car was literally gonna roll down the hill and just start flipping and flipping and flipping. So she gets out of the car before me, and the car tips my way, and I'm just like, crap. So I am trying to unbuckle my seatbelt and get out of the car as fast as I can. Now, we weren't planning on going outside, and at this point I think it was like kind of like the end of winter, so it was really cold. I only had a tank top on and shorts because I was not thinking that we were going to get out of the car and go anywhere. So I'm standing in the freezing cold with her. She doesn't have a jacket, and at this point it was probably about 12:30 when this happened. So we're sitting there, we're actually standing outside of our car, and we're leaning our body weight up against the car so that it's not like teetering on this hill. And so we're calling everyone. She's calling her parents. Her parents can't come downtown, and neither can anyone else. So she decides to have this bright idea that she's going to call the fire department. And I'm like, that might not be a good idea. They might think it's an emergency. That's really only for emergencies. But she calls them anyway. And she's explaining to the operator, it's not an emergency. You do not need to send emergency vehicles. We just need help getting this car off the hill. So, in our minds, we never really thought about, backing the car up even more. I think she did end up getting in the car and trying to back it up, but, that car just teetered, so we didn't want it to roll down the hill. So we were standing there waiting for the fire department to get there, and all of a sudden, about 20 minutes later, and we were kind of in a bad part of town, and it was kind of scary because, two girls in a bad part of town is not the best idea. So we were standing there for about 30 minutes, wondering if they were ever going to come, and we hear sirens. And I'm like, I really hope that's not for us because that would be so embarrassing. So up the hill, there was this road. So, like, the hill's up like this, and you could see the road, and there was, like, a circle up there. And that's actually where we were supposed to be. And we see flashing lights and a fire truck, 2 police cars, and an ambulance roll up, and we're just like, oh my god. It was the most embarrassing thing in my life. So they are up there, so I go running up this hill, and I was like out of breath, and I go up there and tell them, this is not an emergency, we just need someone to help us get this car off this hill. So a fireman and I think one of the dispatchers from the ambulance, or I don't even know what they're called. Sorry, paramedics, whatever. So they come down the hill, and they tell everyone just to, go back, turn off your sirens. It's okay, it's not an emergency, because apparently the person that we called didn't tell them it wasn't an emergency. So they came down the hill, and they looked at the car, and we thought it was pretty bad, but in all seriousness, one of the fire department people went in the car and backed the car up. That's it. Took 5 seconds to get it off the hill. So apparently, we're making such a big deal about this, and It was nothing. It took 5 seconds to get that car off the hill. So we were pretty embarrassed, but after that we went out to eat and like calmed down from all that stuff. But you know, the moral of this story, do not call the fire department because they will think that it's an emergency even though you tell them it's not. So if it's not an emergency, just try to call your friends, try to call everyone to help you, or just simply try to back up the car even more. So that is my story for tonight, and I will be making a video for tomorrow night. And please hit that button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!